As of today, the Nigerian oil production is within the range of 2.1 million barrels per day. But then, prior to this moment, maybe about 5 countries had dominated in oil production in Africa. That is Nigeria, Libya, Algeria, maybe Angola, and so on. But the reality today is that you now find oil in large quantities in virtually every country in Africa. Not only that Libya produces, which still produces about 502 barrels per day, Egypt still produces about 650 barrels per day. Algeria produces still about 1.8 million barrels per day. Angola is still at 1.8 million barrels per day. Gabon produces, Congo, Cameroon, Tunisia, Equatorial Guinea is now doing so great. Congo, Kenya, Cote d'Ivoire, Chad, Sudan, Namibia, South Africa, and today Mozambique and Tanzania has the highest prospect of gas even in the continent. If you like further, Ghana, Papua New Guinea, Zambia are all on their way prospecting for oil. 2 things must happen. The first one, the forces of supply and demand must apply. And the second thing that must happen is that the result must be that oil price must fall. And it means that whether we like it or not, that thing that made us so thick is now of commonality to every corner of the continent. And it's not only this in the continent that we will have this challenge. America today, that is the biggest consumer of Nigerian crude. You can remember that while in South Africa, Obama was quoted as saying that America no longer needs energy from Africa. And I think it should strike us. You also remember that he was recently again quoted as saying, we have a supply of natural gas that can last America nearly 100 years. And my administration will take every possible action to safely develop this energy. I want also to remind us that between 2005 and 2012, oil. Of course, you know that UK, Germany, they have recently started in the same direction. Now, assuming the demand in Nigerian crude decreases sharply from Europe and America, what other market options are we expecting to have? For me, there is no other market that we can safely guarantee, maybe except local market. And how can we maximize the local market? The local market will not demand crude. The local market will demand refined products. This is one of the things your conference will also discuss in deep details and make suggestions. Now, the forces of demand and supply must apply to bring down the price of oil across the globe, whether we like it or not, in the nearest future. In fact, within the next 5 years. Even at that, if we chose to look for market out eastwards, that is to say, go to China or to India and all that, obviously the cost of transportation will of course certainly increase the price, and the tendency is that because from here to Europe you may have about 16 days of transport, but if you're going to the east it will be about 32 days or thereabout, and that will also be built into the cost. So the tendency too is that the east will look for cheaper markets or closer markets, but that is also not to say that even in the east there are no breakthroughs. There are breakthroughs in China. The oil production also have increased, and the likelihood is that most other countries in the east are of course going to invest heavily in exploring shale oil. Cost of production in Nigeria had remained all high. And is one matter, one very thing this conference must also discuss. The issue of vandalism, the issue of oil theft, and all that, and the challenges posed by local communities. We must know that today most of the oil majors in Nigeria are leaving. Shell used to be the highest producer in Nigeria. In fact, their production level had dropped by more than half. Chevron is also on its way. One is another transition period we must pass through locally. The tendency as it comes is that everybody expects that while they sell some of their wells to locals, that is a transition from oil majors to local producers. But I want to tell you that it will take a number of years for the local producers also to brace up, to actually effectively drill those wells and produce as much as it will make much meaning to bridge the gap. It will take time, and what it all means is that the challenge that is coming is going to have wider implications to all of us, like a few speakers have said. Now, if you ask me, my expectation from this conference is for them to critically overhaul by way of review the length and breadth of what the challenge of a non-oil society will be like. And it will affect every sector. We need to plan, and I can tell you, like the minister has said, that the focus of the administration of President Goodluck Jonathan today is to see how he can plan to reduce the shock that will come between the transition period we're about to face. And I must say that when we talk about this transition period, we are not talking about so many years away. We are talking about a period that had almost started. And that is why more effort is being concentrated on planning, more effort is being concentrated on sharpening up policies, more effort is being concentrated on making sure that we not only simply play to gallery, we get into constructive and substantive development of policies that will reduce the shock from our citizens as the situation unfolds. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as I said earlier, it is the role of the media to bring up these ideas the way our people will understand it, to build up the ideals the way our people will receive it, to fashion the direction we must go the way our people can follow. If we fail in this duty, the society will pay for it. You and I will pay for it. I thank you all.
Thank you very much, Lester.
In very simple terms, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator Pius Anyim, says we must face the realities of the times. And that is what hitherto made Nigeria think is now everywhere. Therefore, Nigeria must transit from oil monoproduct economy and must look squarely at revamping the agricultural sector, the tourism sector, the solid minerals industry, and exploit other economic potentials of this great nation. Senator Pius Anyim says that democracy still remains the bedrock of growth and development of any nation, Nigeria inclusive. He says that one of its facilitators remains the media. It should remain responsible to its enhancement and sustenance. The media indeed has a great task that must be accomplished.
Diversification of the economy beyond oil. Dr. Emmanuel Ewita Dwanga, Commander of the Order of the